been a while, but I rebuilt the computer and we are back in action. Testing, a little more. The system's a little quieter than the last one, but this should be good. Code, how's it going, man? Oh, I need to turn my camera on too. There we go. Yeah. I did a complete rebuild, so, but it went all right. How are the audio levels? Yeah, it's working all right now. I got updated to Windows 11, and I might have lost some data off one of the hard drives, but everything else is all right, so appreciate it. How have you been these past few weeks, man? I'm going to get back in the swing of things here myself. And I was thinking about the text issue you were describing. I haven't had a chance to test that out, but that does sound interesting. I think the problem, it might be related to GDevelop not directly supporting vector graphics. Very addicted to Rust. I'm getting an echo here somewhere. Let's see. There we go. Fix the echo. Yeah, well, how's Rust going? +100 hours in the last 7 days. Yeah, I would say that's dedication right there. I know that feeling. Yeah, family's doing pretty well. Appreciate you asking. Don't have Sam here tonight, but I'm gonna have to record a new video for him because part of the collateral damage of my PC crashing is I seem to have lost the video project. So there's one more place for me to check for the video file, the raw file. But I guess my video editor, it has the project in there, but I guess it didn't actually have the media included. It was just linking to the media on the hard drive. So that's not ideal. Let me check the settings here. Output. Oh, I see. Okay, I see the problem there. I'll have to change the toggle on the next stream. It should be 1080. Thanks for letting me know, though. I'll make a note of it. Cannot have that. Yeah, so if I don't find that file, we're gonna shoot a new one. But it's all right. We've been pretty busy. We've been having some fun. We put a little pool in the backyard, um, things like that. So just trying to help him enjoy the summer before school's back in session. Switch accounts. Nice. So I'm assuming you're on mobile with Lost in Code. Gotcha. Nice. I'm assuming it's still 720 then, right? Because if it's not, then I have no idea why. Node occupier. All right, so I think tonight I'm going to just work on some of these nodes. Oh, I also wanted to check on... It is. Okay. Good to know. All right, so... here's what we're going to do. I wanted to check on some ideas for the background because I have... I kind of decided on this specific angle. I've been playing around, switching between like 45 to 35 degrees or so, kind of a top-down isometric view. And I think that I had settled on 45, based on the way I did Blender. Which I don't currently have downloaded, but my towers are 45. I think. The ones that I've created so far. Which, by the way, I did create a water tower, and it's right here. I'm finding Windows 11. I mean, so far so good. Can't complain. I haven't done any crazy administrative troubleshooting with it or anything like that, but I'll never have the same nightmares I had with Windows 8. You haven't touched GDevelop in weeks. That's all right. I mean, that makes two of us. That makes two of us. Literally getting back into it right now. The only thing I did today in preparation for this was work on OBS. So that being said, I did want to check the measurements for this. So we're just going to see what Google tells us here. Yeah, I know the feeling. Dabble and then move on. And that's kind of all I've done most of my life as well. They call it the honeymoon phase of making a game, which is why game jams are so addicting if you're into that kind of self-inflicted pain, is because you don't have to deal with the fallout of spaghetti code and poorly thought out ideas. You just kind of jump in, do the quick and easy, low-hanging fruit, and then move on from it. The face cam glitch looks like it's fixed. I mean, we'll see how long that lasts. I don't know if Windows 11 fixed it. I did actually add that border around it. And the border itself is supposed to be glitching to represent my glitch. But neither of them are actually glitching at the moment, so I'm not sure what's going on. We'll see what happens. If my camera starts glitching again before I get a video capture card, I'm going to make the border glitch as well. That way everything is fully 100% bugged out. Okay, so the width needs to be 100, the height needs to be 0.5. Well, that's pretty simple. I might need to redo Blender. Yeah, I do. I guess it was on... Actually, wait. Let me check something here. No, I've got it. Maybe. No, I have not played Rust. It looks fun, though. Just haven't gotten around to it. It will be my life for a week. Why do I believe that? I am a little bit... oh, I don't want to say OCD, but I am a little bit all in when it comes to playing fun games. So I probably would be... It probably would be my life for a week. So if I look at, let's say the water tower, which I just made. I would need to rotate that on the y-axis. And to be honest, now I'm thinking Now I'm thinking I don't know the rotation. So let's see. I need to rotate that along the Z 90 degrees. And then rotate on the Y. Let's see if that's actually 45. So maybe it's not. You said you found a hard PvE server, so you've been grinding on that all week. Nice. What makes it hard? Like, what are the... Is it... Which settings are hard? And did I change the stream time? Not really. I just hadn't streamed in forever, so I wanted to hop on tonight. I'll probably still stream on Thursdays. Tonight's bonus. Didn't want y'all to think I fell off the face of the earth or anything. Wanted to check in on whoever's able to pop in. What I'm looking for here is the actual file. Let me go into my assets folder. So is this the way it looks in the game? I guess it is. I'm just trying to see if that matches up with what I'm seeing here in Blender. Not sure why it's purple, to be honest. So 45, that's 45. And that looks like, I don't know what. That's like a Las Vegas fountain right there. It's like purple and spotlights. It's kind of cool. It's not really what I was going for. Thought the time said 4:30 a.m. I think the time got messed up. When I set the stream up, I hadn't set the computer's time zone. So it's all whack. It does look kind of cool. And to my knowledge, I didn't change any settings. Maybe it's a render setting. It's kind of odd. You said that lots of NPCs at the monuments, so it's harder to get to them. Lots of custom events like plane crashes and airfield bosses and airfield boss fights. Nice. Sounds pretty awesome. So there's top down, and then if I only rotate it 35, you get more of that. It might be at 35. I think I might have done that. So in that case, I'll need to change what I said in the Google query. I should really figure that out before I move forward. So if it's 30 then, It is a pretty good look for a magic tower. It's pretty freaking awesome. So for a, did I say 30? So 30 would be 100% and then about 86.6% the height. So let's test that out. Let me think. Do I have GIMP on here? Maybe. Not sure. Tell you what, let's take a tileable sprite. I already have these, but I don't remember. That was isometric. We had both bad weather, and now it's pretty hot. We've been getting a lot of flash flooding. I think it's partly related to the Pacific Ocean being cooler this year, La Nina, but I also think there might be other global causes for the adjustment. This past weekend I drove to Colorado, a couple states over, and went through some neighboring states, and they were all getting crazy storms. Oh yeah, Texas had bad flooding for sure. Yeah, that's right next door to us. Yeah, next door. It's like several hours away, but they're in the same zone. Absolutely. Is she doing all right? I'm going to disable the nodes for a second, and then... Actually, I don't need to do it there. Let me go to level. Right here. Disable that, and then I had this thing here. So if I play, now I get some ISO tiles here. I'm just kind of trying to see if these look kind of natural or not. From an angle perspective. It's a little hard to tell. And the leaves are not quite the right style either, but do they look like they could exist on the same plane? She lives on top of a hill, so not too bad. Nice. Yeah, we're okay. Appreciate it. There was one evening we needed to put some sandbags at our back door because we're in a suburban neighborhood, and our backyard is like the lowest of the surrounding neighbors. And I did a lot of work to have the flooding go out the sides of the house, but if it gets bad enough, it can reach the back door. And but the sandbags did the trick. It looks okay to you? Cool. I think one of the next steps, I think I'm not going to be able to use, I'm very sad to say, I think for this project I'm not going to be able to use Flowscape, the app that I did all this other stuff with, because I can't disable the perspective mode, which is what we're looking at. I can only do perspective. We just had heat waves, 35C plus. My friend is saying that you need to get back on as Lost in Code. Because that's what she's used to seeing you as. Yeah, that's pretty hot. That's about what we've had this past week. Lost in Code is back. Not that I think he was gone. I think he's just after those top places in the chat. Number 1, number 2. Trying to be the primary shareholder at Korriban Studios. Let's see, what's a good... Trying to find a good tile maker, at least to play around with. To be honest, I'm not sure what I'm looking at here either. Look on Discord, I'm logged in as code, but it says Bengar. That's true. Yeah, you are Bengar in Discord. All depends on the whether it's the computer or the tablet. This is interesting. I'm not sure it's... I'm not sure if it's robust enough for what I'm looking for. Riley's one of my friends. Always lurking. Little sus. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that tool. Now, literally, one of the few. When launching Tiled for the first time, we are greeted with the following window. Well, that's nice of the window. To make all our assets readily accessible from the project view, switch between multiple projects. It's recommended to first set up a tiled project. Okay. Corey has one more friend than me. No, he doesn't. What do I want tiled for? Well, the background for my game, I'm trying to play around with ideas because I don't think I can use Flowscape, the same thing I was using to make backgrounds before. Because it only allows for perspective, which is like that warped perspective. But I'm technically using 2D fixed angle view, isometric, sort of. I think true isometric is a specific angle, but I'm basically using isometric, not perspective. And Flowscape doesn't allow isometric, other than for pure top-down, like map building. So, I'm trying to explore ideas for 2D tiled art, which is what I was showing here in this example. I have a tile here that I multiplied out to match the angle of the towers. Yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for a super complex set of tiles, but I am looking for at least a base tile on top of which I can put like other things like rocks and junk. And I don't need a whole lot right at the moment in order to keep coding the game, but it just looks really funny when I have all this stuff here, you know. So I was just trying to get sort of a base going on. And I'm not sure tile width. And I'm not sure what kind of image it would be looking for here. Tile set based on tile set image. Let's see. All right, and then George, what is going on, dude? How's life going on over there in the future? I can't wait to get to the point of playtesting either. Code. And I think we're getting pretty close. And by think, I mean we are. And especially considering I took three weeks off here with my computer being rebuilt by me. Now that that's out of the way, we're back on track. And George, I have not forgotten that I owe you a video. And I was just telling Code here, I got my computer rebuilt and I hopped on the stream tonight because I felt like I'd abandoned everyone, but it's still coming. It has been a heck of a couple of weeks, I'll tell you that much. I'm just happy to be here. I'm going to download this file, save in the downloads folder. The future is extremely hot. Oh man, don't tell me that. Do not tell me that. So, Code said that it's about 95 Celsius where he is. Or not 95. God. It's 95 Fahrenheit here-ish. He said it's about 35 Celsius there. So how hot is it there in South Korea? It's actually 512. I don't know what this is going to do with this. Let's find out though. Is that right? I guess that's right. Didn't think that was the same one. All right. $100.4. That's hotter than here so far. That's hot. I think I will stay in the present. Maybe all those self-help books are telling the truth when they tell you to live in the present so that you don't live in the future with George in the 100-degree heat. Some roads were melting. That's insane. Yeah, I might postpone my trip a little bit. Do y'all have central AC there where you are, George? Local shop center caught fire due to windows and sun. Jeez. Caught fire due to the sun? For your place, you have AC in every room. Yeah, I would say that's good. How standard is it there? You know, because like here in the U.S., it's really standard to have AC, but you know, I know when I travel, it's depending on the country, it's less common. Maybe it's more common to have a window unit, something like that. Exactly, like Code's saying. Is it more common or less common? They are expensive on energy usage, I'll tell you that though. And I don't... I'm not going to learn this program tonight. I'll just continue with this. ng develop. Alright, we're going to make some more nodes. Alright, let me go... Let's see if I have my notes here. Okay, so it is pretty common there. Yeah, Code, get in on the AC thing. It's gonna be getting rough. And I'm looking over here at my notes. I'm looking for... I had a list of these things. You bought a portable air conditioner for your room so you can sleep. That's pretty good. At least get your sleep in. Not really sure. I'll just have to start this over then. So we're going to do... Oh, what did I say? It was node occupier. I think there was fire. dampener. So we can start working on those. So the occupier. Something like that. Definitely a minimum of 4 hours. I mean, after that, you're talking zombie mode. And so let's go ahead and let's try the fire one. So node occupier. Let me double check what I have on here. Behaviors, it does need health. Variables. It might need an ID. So I'll say apply, and then I'm going to duplicate that out. So we'll say node fire. Actually, maybe slow would be better. And then duplicate that. And just say dark. There are actually more different colors in this little thing than I thought there were. Okay, and then You said you're going to San Fran in September? What's going on there? And Code, who are you directing the question to? Nice. So are you going solo? Have y'all established specific dates for those for the pitches? Good enough for this one. All right, so Node Fire. Oh, you were asking me. Favorite genre of games, top 3. So probably if I did this by hours played. Well, actually, I guess hours played won't help because I don't have those all in front of me. But combined, I'm willing to bet I've spent the most hours in various RPGs. What up, Blaze? How you doing tonight, bud? So probably games like anywhere from action RPGs like the Diablo series to like Skyrim. And then even things like Stardew Valley. I've put a lot of hours into those kinds of games. So RPGs. Then after that, it would be sandboxy games like Minecraft. And then so sandboxy builders like Minecraft, Factorio. There was another one I was trying to think of. I don't have Steam pulled up at the moment. And then after that, probably strategy games such as tower defense games. I think that's probably accurate. Code. Top 3 genres. Go. George, you're going September 14th through the 20th. Nice. I used to live just a few hours from there, from San Fran, and I never made it up there. I was in the LA area, but further out in the desert. And I just never went to San Fran. I really should have. I was even in SoCal earlier this year, but not Central California. All right, Node Fire. Now let's add another one. These are obviously placeholder, but just want to get them implemented. Node Slow. Let's edit that one. This will be rock with, I'll just say blue. Don't really know why. In fact, let's just do Good enough. Then node dark. Just enough so I can see the difference. And then let's go back into the creation. 2 of those. Node fire, node slow, node dark. Guess I can put these in alphabetical. Okay, and then we'll do probably a random number here. We'll use a local variable, and it will be assigned random from 0 to 3. Then here we'll say if rand is equal to 0 and so on. Then let's go back to here. Let's reselect this thing and then disable this. Let's see if we get all 4 spawning here somewhere. All right. You said number 1 survival, 7 days, Minecraft, Rust, and then simulation like farming sims. And then fighting, more combat, if I can read it. Nice. We probably have a lot of overlap there, to be honest. Farming sim and some of the survival stuff. So I think we're on the same page with a lot of that. Okay, we're getting all 4 node types spawning now. Blaze says it's raining tacos. I don't know about you all, but I'm moving to wherever that is. That sounds great. How is it raining tacos? You're going to have to elaborate on that. Oh, it's a song. Gotcha. Very nice. Did you ever get your laptop working? Flint Lockwood. Cloudy with a chance of tacos, huh? But you forgot about the laptop. You know, I ran into the same or a similar issue with mine, Brud. My OS was crashing. I don't really know what the root cause was, so I just ended up having to re-image it with Windows 11, as you saw in Discord. But yeah, It was not fun, so I know the feeling. All right. Now we're gonna add some behavior. Nodes, updates. I guess each node will need something to tell me the type. All right, and then your PC keeps freezing and rebooting itself still. Yeah, GPU is a likely cause there. Have you run... Does it seem to happen when you're running 3D? And when you go to Resource Manager and you look at GPU, does it show any of these maxed out? So for example, I asked about 3D because up here you can see the 3D. Oh, it can happen on startup or idle or while playing a game. That's really annoying. I hate that. Sometimes you turn the PC on and get a black screen and it fails to boot. Have to restart it like 10 times. Yeah. I'm assuming you've tried updating drivers for the graphics card and... Yeah, if you get it serviced, maybe they can help troubleshoot it for you. Because it's probably generating logs that they could check. So you got an all new install. What all was installed? Like, are we talking all hardware? Are we talking OS? Because I do remember that being an issue. Fresh hard drive, new system. But the same graphics card? I'm assuming you've got plenty of RAM. And if it's crashing on startup and idle, especially idle, I wouldn't think that would be the issue. So do you 16 gigs of RAM? Shouldn't be crashing on 16 gigs of RAM idle. I wouldn't think. I mean, it could literally be anything, but GPU and maybe power sound like candidates. Blaze, you have literally nothing to talk about. Well, we've been going around, so we need to ask you now. Blaze, what are your top 3 gaming genres? Mine were RPG, sandbox builder, and strategy. Top 3 genres, go. The sound goes crazy too. Sounds like my dog. It just goes crazy and then crashes. Platformer, number 1. Horror, number 2. And first-person shooter. Is it in that order then? Platformer, then horror, then first-person shooter? You said FPS is number 10. You suck at aiming. And there's the tryhards. Well, yeah, there's the tryhards and the bots. But yeah, I mean, really, we're just asking if you enjoy it. So, because by no means am I good at any of the genres I just said that I enjoy. I just enjoy them. I love first-person shooters. I love to jump in. It's kind of like the quick, satisfying gaming genre, but am I good at it? No. Not really. I need to add the rest of the nodes to this group. And apply. Sounds like Rust. You just like games I can play as part of a team. Yeah, definitely. Blaze, I don't know if you saw my latest tower. You had asked about the water tower, and I did build a water tower. Put a couple in here. Right here. These are the water towers. Yeah, so that's the one. We were actually laughing because that's the tower I'm going to use for water. Yeah, I got something to work with. I have 3 of them built out now. Like I was telling, I don't know how much I've told you or if you heard, but my computer was down for the past 3 weeks. So I built this 3 weeks ago. So I've got 3 out of the 8 towers built. I guess 3 out of 9. And but when I opened up Blender today, it was all purpley, which Coda and I thought looked kind of cool. So I might do something like that for the Arcane Tower as well. I thought it looks like a Las Vegas Bellagio fountain. Yeah, the temp art looks like an old Flash game. It's kind of funny, mixing and matching. So yeah, I might do Blender on the next stream. I think the fire one, I'm gonna do sort of a fire totem pole. Towers updates. guess I'm going to do a for each instance here. And I should probably put in like a variable here. So let me create a variable. You know, Blaze says platformers are one of his top genres. I think Blaze needs to try out your game code. What was it called? Clone Escape. Blaze, you said you like platformers. You need to play this game. gd.games/Bengar. Clone Escape. My OBS is kind of flashing and freaking out. I'm not sure if the whole stream is flashing. Seems okay. Does my tower object have the on fire variable? Now it does. You have the Clone Escape remake all ready to build levels with. Just need font sorted. Just need the font sorted. And so the problem is that when you scale your font, it's blurry, right? But it's a really small font to begin with. What did you say the file type is? Is that a TFF? Or TTF, I mean. I tried a few different ones. And I'm assuming you've tried different text objects in the game as well, like bitmap versus regular. Yeah, it might be, because it doesn't do vector. The closest you can get is using a vector converted to raster, like a PNG. And then from there, of course, it'll be, it can be lossy. All right, let me make a smoke real quick. Think you're gonna just make the assets 64 by 64 instead of 16, then you can use a normal size font. Yeah, I guess that's true. If the assets are all quite a bit bigger. Yeah, you're kind of working with a constraint there, aren't you? All right, let's try this. Tower updates. Then if on fire is true, guess I need one more thing here. Then we're going to create the smoke. And then we're going to rotate it. All right, let me see. Let me think. Is it... that, and then one other thing is, does this have the sticker behavior? It will need it. And then same for the smoke. All right, let's see if, one other thing, I need to actually call this from here. So towers, updates. Okay. You said all this issue because you want the text to show how many deaths each trap has. I want it to pop up above the trap, but the font is too small. You can blame me for that. I put that idea in your head. That is on me. Okay, let's adjust the radius on this. Isn't it funny? It's things that should be so simple. You just run into snags that are so complicated. Let's say 500 pixels. See if that works. You're not quite working. That's all right. Let's take a look. Okay, that's definitely true. Now let's try this. Okay, that's coming in as true. Then here, if the variable of the nodes is 1, which if the type is 1. Oh, I said ID. That could be the problem. There we go. But the smoke is going the wrong way. That should be, let's see, not 225. 270. What am I thinking? And then let's change the Z order as well. If you send me the link, can I test the feel of the new Clone Escape? I want to make sure it's got the same as the old feel. Heck yeah, man. Send it my way. Okay, that... Oh, I need to link these. Or I mean, stick them. All right, that's pretty good. Let me see. Yeah, feel free to send me that link. Give it a shot. All right, so we've got the smoke, and then I think that I want some sort of variable for burning. For the burning damage on the towers. I need, which makes me think, I need to build a crumbling animation for the towers for whenever they're destroyed. So, let's see. What do we want? It'll have to be a balance thing, obviously, but so we'd probably call it scene node fire burning damage. And let's just say that starts off at at 2. It's a short test level, link on Discord. Welcome back from lunch. Hope it was a good one. Now you need to fight that post-lunch afternoon lull. Try not to go into a food coma. All right, so let's see, down below this, I'm going to say in 1 second here, and then I'll test the game. I guess I'll say damage. Visual effects. Oops. Then damage. Press E to spawn a clone. No rush. Also no rish. No rish, people. If the variable on fire is true, we're going to start an object timer. Called on fire. Actually, that should be started. So we don't need this. If we're setting the variable to true, then that's when we start it. If it's true, and then if that timer is greater than or equal to, we'll say 1 second. Let's see, where'd it go? Did I give my towers health? Also need to rename it to just tower. No, I didn't give it health. All right, let's do that then. Yeah, let's just say 100, I guess. For now. The background and floor are placeholder. Okay. Good to know. 1 second and we'll get over to it. Apply damage. I need to adjust that thing. I almost changed a naming convention. So I want this to be nodes. So if the debuff is true, and then of course if the timer value, and then we'll reset the timer here. Okay. Tell you what, for testing, let's give it less health. Let's give it like 12. And then also we need to put in Blaze in the house. Yes. You fixed the turret laser rotation, so it's not off-center to the turret. The code is looking better organized now for this version of your game. Yeah, glad you got the turret updated. That was kind of funny, wasn't it? And yes, I appreciate it. I feel like I can go in and do surgical updates to my game with relative ease now. It's so much better. So much better. I'm trying to remember. Do you recall if an object in the game is using the health behavior, if the health is 0 or less, my assumption is that the behavior would call it dead or consider it dead. I don't remember if it does that automatically or not. I guess I'll find out. For so long, I was not using external events and just had one. Me too, bro. I feel like it wasn't... They must have had some sort of an update last year that made the external events easier to use. But yeah, that was definitely not the way to do it. I think I found the answer to my question. I was asking if the health behavior automatically assumes that if an object has 0 or fewer health points, if it considers the object dead. And it looks like it does. So after about 6 seconds of burning, starting now, that tower should be dead and then delete. It looks like it does, /is. All right, we've got towers being able to be burned by those fiery nodes, and they will be destroyed and go away. Making pretty good progress. All right, I'm going to save that. Oh wait, no, I need the link. All right, here we go. You said, yeah, let me refresh that because I just did new clone. All right, so we've got the development build here. Controls, we've got squat. Ooh, there's a spike. E for a new clone. Obviously right now we can spawn multiple clones, so I'm not sure if it's kind of funny. Together we go. You do that too. Is it a bug or a feature? Yeah, I think it's definitely harder that way. I don't think I'm at any advantage making a train of clones. All right, let me try this for real now. We're testing to see if the feel is similar to the previous version. Yeah, laser's looking better. The lack of coyote time is noticeable, so that would be a similar feel. Not sure how I'm not making that jump. Also, the heads will slowly delete. That's probably a good idea. In fact, I like that a lot, because you can kind of see the chronology there of like, oh, that was an older death. My goodness, I didn't realize that was a hard jump, and now I'm just not able to make it. I could, of course, try. I could see if there's a spike on the bottom there. Maybe I'm just psyching myself out. Yeah, I'm psyching myself out. Yeah, exactly. Drop down, then jump. If I would read chat, I would know too. Saw that spike come out to try to get me. I do like that I can just quickly go right back into the gameplay. Because, you know, if the deaths are going to be numerous and expected, I think that's pretty important. I mean, there we go. So far, I would say that I suck equally bad at this one. So, oh, there we go. So I would say that the feel is similar so far. Oh. Es no bueno. Oh man, that laser. Just the feel needed testing. Yeah, I think it's on point. I think it matches. How much of this level have you built out? My gosh. You need to scale it up to 64 by 64. So that it shouldn't change the look though, right? Since it's an even value. It's a small test room. Okay. Pretty cool. Yeah, I think it's going in the right direction. Right on. Well, feel free to send updates my way. I'd be happy to play test it. We need Blaze to play test it as well, but I'm not sure if his laptop's going to let him. What time do we have? I do need to hop off here pretty soon. What can I do to wrap up in here? I think I'm at a good pausing point here too. Didn't run into any major problems or anything. Just testing. Obviously, these nodes are spawning frequently and all over the place. So depending on how I build the game out later, there will be things blocking them from spawning on certain areas and such. But I'm already not able to build towers on top of them, which is ideal. And the towers can destroy them. They can destroy the towers. It's all functional. It's just a matter of adding in more abilities. Like the blue nodes are going to slow attack speed and projectile speed, etc. So yeah, you're getting Rust invites. Nice. Yeah, solid progress tonight. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But everybody, thank you so much for hopping on. I know it's been a while. I've missed y'all. Hope you're doing well. Blaze, I hope you have a good evening. And yeah, be talking soon. Hoping to stream again on Thursdays as usual. So take it easy. And whatever it is y'all are working on, whether it's Rust or your Rage games, or whether it's your business endeavors after lunch in Korea, I hope you have fewer bugs than I do. So thanks. Catch you later.